All right, welcome back to episode 188. Hey, Noel.
Hey.
What's happening?
Not much.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you. That 1.1 million now
unbelievable.
And climbing.
and climbing every second.
So proud of you.
Yep.
The video that they did
1.1.
not want you to see went viral.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little bit of a justice for them
Yeah.
in a way, kind of, sort of,
A
right?
little slap in the face to them because they didn't think that they'd get caught. They didn't want to get caught. You see how he was like caught off guard when he said, "Gotcha."
Right. Yeah. And it's the only thing I could think of is that it feels like it's somewhat
Yeah,
of
But they're still doing it.
They're still doing
They still don't care. They think I won't sit there and catch them again. They're
I know.
wrong, and I'll make them go viral for a second time.
Hopefully other people will pick up on it. And
Well,
videos
people at the
even.
park yesterday, I went to the park yesterday and I was putting up some more posters and a girl recognized me from TikTok and she was like, "Keep doing what you're doing, honey." And then I was like, "Yeah, the father keeps coming here." She goes, "I seen that. Screw him. Like if I ever see him, yeah, I'll say something to him." And
1.1 million. That's truly viral. I mean, that's the definition of viral video. Because I remember our daughter, Dominique, she does that.
Yeah.
And if you get 1 million, there's like celebrations. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big deal
Yeah.
to make something go.
Yeah.
And,
they tried getting it
there it is.
taken down too. They tried getting me for harassment and bullying and personal identification or something like that. And it didn't.
Personal identification is out.
I know.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, and I don't know what people don't understand. You're allowed to video whatever you want.
Exactly.
If it's outside,
Yeah.
not
People
going in your
video
house.
people all the time. They always record incidents with police and everything. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not against anything.
and like I said, I checked with lawyers, I checked with cops. It's perfectly legal what I'm doing, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, and there's a group of people that are doing this, which is cool.
Yeah.
So all them out there, congratulations too,
Yeah,
because
thank
you
you.
made it go
Yep.
to where it is, because you got them chasing their tail
Yeah.
pretty much. Because I see places that I know they're up and they're still up,
Yeah.
so they just can't. There's so many out there.
I put some in some
Mhm.
places yesterday where he's never gonna get them.
Mhm.
Never know about it. So they just go for the main part is
I put a
Mm.
few up too.
Yeah.
I didn't look, but I think they're still there.
what
Ours are still there, the ones that
Oh,
you
yeah.
put up.
Yeah, they're still there. I had to re-put one up, but they're still there. What's this say? But sure, ask a
Yeah.
question, Burdette. We don't care. Go ahead. No problem. Anyways, as we wait for Burdette's question, it's been a good day. That's good. Finally, little bit. I think all the people that are victims of his must be happy
they're very excited.
You know.
They're very happy.
because you didn't get anything out of it. They didn't get anything. I said, okay, take me a minute. No problem. I put some up by his house on Saturday.
Oh, good.
It's fun.
It's awesome. I love that the neighbors were warned. I
Yeah.
love that Jessica warned his actual neighbors and they're pissed. I mean, that just goes to show though too. People don't check the sex offender registry. Like that's why you gotta warn people because they don't check the sex offender registry. They
And you're
live-
doing them a favor
Yeah.
and they don't act like it.
Yeah.
Like
Right. No.
you're doing them a favor by notifying them.
Yeah.
And you know what else too, in my mind, they don't, this is what happens when the criminal justice, whatever, doesn't take care of it.
Right.
This is why this
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
because at this point, this guy should be in prison and we wouldn't have to do this.
Right. And
But they don't.
and then not only that, but then the behavior of the family afterwards,
Right.
who didn't even show up in court the day they put the handcuffs on him. But I could understand that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
You support your son so much you couldn't even
yeah,
show
the big
up there.
supporters of the son. They weren't even in court when they slapped the handcuffs on him.
Yeah,
They just went to dinner first.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
they did.
Arby's had a sale. But you know, you would think if they were decent people, they would reach out to the victims and say, "I'm so sorry for what happened."
Yeah.
Something to show some concern and all. They did the opposite,
Well,
right?
Jake D'Angelo reached out to the victims. He
Oh,
definitely did.
They
He
just
said, "You're a
Yeah,
pathetic liar and a piece of shit."
why
Victim,
don't you just be quiet?
Yeah.
Also, just go away.
Yeah.
Just never say a word.
Because if they weren't actually, if they weren't attacking me and coming after me, this
That's
probably
right.
wouldn't be happening.
We said that last week. This would not be happening.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, this would not have happened if that didn't happen.
No.
That's what triggered it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what started it. Was him.
Yep.
So now,
if you think back to when
I'm glad he did.
this horrible thing started, you have Nick running that paper, and then you get the Ken Hamiltons and what's his
Tony
name?
Farina.
Tony Farina, and people that were so-called somebodies in the city speaking out against the victims.
yeah, the next.
Accusations of fraud and everything else. And they've been silent too.
Very quiet.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'll say this. The D'Angelo family should have took some pointers from them and just kept quiet.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
just don't
That was
speak.
another option.
Keep
Yeah.
quiet because you can't say nothing good at this point. Don't say nothing at all. I
Yeah.
guess, like I tell the kids.
And then to attack though the victim from 2009 and say that she was lying and everything and make up lies about her, they should get sued for that. They really should.
They should in a perfect world. And wait till I tell you about this story we had. Remember? Well, we'll talk about it. There's someone's was sent a cease and desist order that they don't want them going to council meetings anymore to speak.
Really?
Can you imagine that?
Wow.
I've never heard. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Amazing.
Let me see here. Let me try to read this. All this that you have done and continue to do is great, but does it help your healing? I know it has to take a toll and consume you as the victim, but eventually you find peace and get this off your mind. I'm not totally, but I know what it's like for a tragic event, okay, to consume you, and it's harder than hell to live life.
So for me, it's actually it's actually part of healing. Like this actually helps me heal by speaking out and letting others know what's going on. And like, trust me, I can't wait for there to be a day where I don't have to talk about this anymore. But in the meantime, as long as I'm being attacked and getting called a liar and stuff, like I can't keep quiet. Like I have to just warn others because I don't want others to go through what I had to go through. And it is part of like a healing process for me to speak out and do all that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine if you couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I think for you, that would have caused you to really,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have worked
No.
if you would have,
I think
No.
if there was a little concern.
but it's a good
for the
point.
citizens
Good point
on the
for
other
that.
side, like all these people who spoke out against the victims, if that stuff never occurred, then we wouldn't be.
That's the
Oh,
thing.
This wouldn't be.
The other victims didn't get attacked like I got attacked.
Right.
Like they didn't. I got attacked pretty badly by Nick and his friends and family. I'm still going through it. They're suing me. They're coming after me. So it's hard to keep quiet when they just keep it going.
I understand what Burdett's saying.
Yeah, no, we
I-
don't take it the wrong way at all.
No,
I think,
no.
we understand. We've thought of it.
Yeah.
I think it's been thought of by everyone, probably yourself even. I know me and you have.
Sure,
We thought
yeah.
about, oh my God, I hope but then we realized a year or
It
two
is, it's
ago that
therapeutic.
it's the only way you could do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it could go any other way.
Right.
Other than you would have to be sedated
Right.
and like, and no longer be
Comfortable
allowed
now?
to, yeah, no longer being allowed to get up. So, but no, Burdette, that's a
No,
good question
Yeah.
because it's been consuming. Sure it has. I think everyone at this table in one way or another.
A lot of other things in life we should all be doing instead of having to address the scourge that goes on.
But the thing is now though, I don't think this podcast is ever going to stop because we got other ones to do this with.
Right.
So now we have more people.
Yeah, there's so
It'll
much
never
of
end.
what's going on in the world that
It's not just him we're dealing with
Yeah.
either.
somebody said that to me
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
on Facebook.
But
Like-
That why do we go so hard against him, but we don't go so hard against other pedophiles that are living around here? And I said, well, first of all, we do when
Yeah.
they're brought to our attention, and
Right.
second of all, the other people didn't rape my friend. So of course I'm gonna go harder against somebody that hurt somebody I know.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
just,
mean, like,
yeah, it was kind of goofy to that question. I mean, obviously, if you've ever, I don't think the person ever watched this podcast, because if you did, you would know
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
here.
I
I
don't
mean,
watch.
we've had so much, we've called out people. I mean, I remember that stupid lady at the hospital who came
Yeah.
after the mother. I mean, that was
Yeah.
because we called
And
it
if
what it was.
they-
Yeah.
Are so concerned about it. They want somebody called out. Why don't they speak up and say,
Uh,
how about this person? You
that's
should call this
exactly
person.
what I said. I said, hey, listen, we're a small group. We could use all the help
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
throw
can
it
get.
at
I
us,
said,
yeah.
what? Help. If you know a pedophile, call them out.
Yeah.
Put it on the show.
Right.
Find out who the person is and,
Now we have to, and we've done this many times. We have never said anything that isn't true.
Right.
We have, because we've had some that we turned away.
Yeah.
I recall.
Mhm.
That we didn't talk because we didn't. Remember, you guys would get a weird feeling
Yeah.
and think, "Oh no, we're not." You know, it doesn't
Right.
seem
And
right.
that's another thing too. We have to be careful with what we say. We can't just go calling every single person out. We have to.
Right.
You have to have stuff.
We have to have, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because we do get sued, believe it or not.
yeah, repeatedly there for a while, and still to this day.
Yeah.
Um,
And other lawsuits are garbage and not working.
Let me read what Dominic said. Hi guys, Noelle's doing a great job, and more people need to be like her. Voices need to be heard from the victims. Nick the scum got a new job and restart with a sentence that anyone can do standing on their head. Meanwhile, the victims have to live the trauma. He deserves to be gone after with that sweetheart deal he got. True. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, Dominic.
And that's how all of these guys are. All the rapists, all of them they feel like whatever they did, whatever their sentence or punishment is, and some of it's none, like his. After it's done, they think it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
It's not it.
It is for them.
It is for them. Yeah.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, people let them
Yeah.
let it happen. And that's the lazy DAs and
And you know what?
judges too.
This, I'm sorry, but like, a lot of people don't want to be known for being raped. Okay.
Right.
Well, then that's your fault for not speaking up because it happened. You got trauma. You're dealing with it. Why not just put it out there and say, this is what they did to me? Say
Right.
it.
I didn't want to come forward at first either, but once you do, it's like you're relieved, like you said.
Very much
and
so.
It helps. It really does.
they need to know that. That's good. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get over it somehow.
sure
And
do.
if even if you can't get over it, this will help you say, I'm a victim and this person did this to me. And it's very enlightening for you to be able to say, he did this.
And
to
you're
me."
helping others too, because I'm
Yeah.
sure if that person did that to you, they've done it to others.
Right.
Yeah, they don't do it.
And there is
Robin's
some,
case too.
yeah, there is
Don't do it
something
just
very
once.
empowering about saying it out loud to people, like just knowing that anyone could hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes you feel like, okay, it kind of takes your power back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just, and the problem that you get is, and this is all I keep thinking is, when you go through the court system, you see what happens.
Mhm.
We saw it firsthand with him. I saw it with you, Robin, but it was in civil court.
Mhm.
Terrible there. Then we went to criminal court where it's supposed to be better, you would think,
Yeah.
and it was terrible. It was a disaster. It was laziness. It was on purpose.
And I can understand why
So-
some people don't want to come forward because they see that, they see what happens. Like they see, like with Robin's case, the guy admitted it. What,
And they don't care.
they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
like you can admit that you hurt somebody and you rape somebody, but nothing happens.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, I know it's civil court, but it always kills me that they can that's not it. All right, maybe you're not going to grab them and throw them in jail, but you should be put on a list.
Yeah.
Once you admit to what you did,
Yeah.
you should have to be. It has to, because if you're willing to see, that's what it is. They make it too easy for them to admit it and go away.
Right.
Because if they had to go to trial, that would be it. Think about if they had to go to trial, what would happen if some of these ones that are in civil, you know what I mean? You'd have to, then they get embarrassed like they should, because they bring in their family, they bring in all these people, they'd have to talk under oath. A judge would do a judgment on them.
Yeah.
Where it would
Which would
be-
be a hell of a lot more than
Even if you don't have $1.4 million, guess what? You're going to pay something. We're going to judgment on you. But instead they let them say, yes, I did it. And all I got is a couple thousand. Oh, okay, buddy. All right. Don't worry about it, pal. And it's over. Laziness again.
It's over for them. It's
For
not
them.
over for
Right.
the victim. You're still traumatized. So why not tell everybody, who did this to you and bring shame upon them too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have no
Yes.
idea of who else you could be saving and who else you could be helping. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, when I came forward, well, over
Wheels
40
come
people
off, yeah.
came forward,
Yeah.
including boys. When Robin came forward, there was more with others, with
Yeah.
the teacher and everything too. Like you're helping other victims.
Yeah.
There's never just one victim.
Never. It's
There's always, that person always has more than one victim.
absolutely, they don't, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And this guy out in D'Angelo, I mean, I don't think he'll stop.
No, he's
I
already,
mean,
he already, after he got arrested and everything, was already messaging a girl who messaged me. And he was trying to get pictures from her, offering her money for pictures and videos, and saying, just because I pled guilty doesn't mean I did it.
and there's a perfect example.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly.
remember
what he
you
said.
saw it. We had the credit card number on there.
Yep.
And everything. And they didn't
Oh.
care. When it was handed over to the police, they did not care.
Well,
No.
that's because
So
it made them
hey, Stacy.
look bad
Right.
because it happened in jail. They weren't watching, so
Happened in
they
jail.
just
Think
looked it
about
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why. Oh no, it wasn't. He didn't have it. It was another inmate's computer.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to take any blame for it.
Right.
He hasn't stopped since 2009. 2009, he's been going because he's been allowed to get away with it. He knows
Right.
he's not going to get a punishment.
And
Mhm.
we have learned, all of us, like there's people in Robin's case that did it for decades, like
Yep.
on and on, starting in the 80s and didn't stop until they retired.
Yep.
It was like they retired from their job.
Yep.
But it was raping kids. I mean, so you know what? It's laziness like I've never seen.
Yeah.
Laziness of lawyers. The lawyers are lazy. The judges are lazy. The DA is lazy. I don't want to say the police is lazy because they seem to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
But they were just as happy with making it end
Yeah.
without there being a
Right.
real conclusion.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, they were very happy to take a police report, but I think I think the officer felt bad because she knew Carolyn Watazik wasn't going to pursue it.
Yeah.
Right.
They can only do so much. They really can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
And-
it leaves their hands, that's it. They don't have any more jurisdiction.
Right. Like the woman that took my report, she was very nice. Remember that
She passed
officer that
away.
passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was really good. But there was nothing she could do because Carolyn Watazik said, "Oh, that's not first-degree rape."
Yeah, the corruption. She's right, Stacey. I mean, obviously it's corruption. It's not just laziness. It's corruption. It's the whole deal. But sometimes I feel like, because you know why I say laziness? Because, and I'm not going to name who it is, but there was a lawyer who actually said he was glad the New York State Child Victims Act expired because that way there wasn't so much work to do.
And that's our job.
That's terrible.
Like, it's
Can I
ridiculous.
also say that this person was a Child Victims Act lawyer?
Right.
Like
yes,
he wasn't.
yeah.
It
Just
just
some
wasn't
random
like,
lawyer, no.
Yeah, some random lawyer. He was
No.
dealing with these cases and said,
I just want it to stop.
"I just want it done."
Yeah. I
Oh,
can't.
what a fighter, huh?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I got a story to
Amazing.
talk about real
Yeah.
quick. Transition real fast. Someone anonymously sent us a private message on Messenger, and I don't know. We did the story about the SPCA one time before.
Yeah.
It was a little while ago. Well, there's more to the story about it. I got some video I'll run here in a second. Let me try to just say the story the best way I can. An RFP, you're going to hear that a lot, is a request for proposal, basically like a want ad for something that the city or county or whoever, they need a service. Like, for example, if they needed City Hall painted, they put one of those out to get the best price from a
Right.
painter. It's kind of similar to this. Someone wants to be the what do you call it? The animal control person. There's people
Right.
that want to do that because they love animals. They want to do that. They have kennels. Well, this started in 2015, probably, where the SPCA said, we're no longer going to be animal control people. We want to go back to what we were, and what they are. Supposedly, they're supposed to fight animal cruelty and provide care for animals in need. That's what the SPCA is. They're not dog catchers.
Right.
And they weren't getting paid. There was a whole problem with the
Yeah.
city. Well, this RFP never goes out. Someone gets hired to do it. And the person's name you can find is Kelly Swaggle. She's called the Pit Chick or something. They might even could name her business. Well, anyways, she gets this opportunity to do this, be the dog pretty much enforcement person at $20,000 a month for 17 kennels. That's a lot.
Yeah.
The city's
Yeah.
paying $20,000 a month. And then there's another thing where there's $37. I don't know. There's more to it, but 20,000, let's just remember that. And it was done without anyone knowing. The mayor, I guess, did it when there was no council meetings. They were on vacation. He called it an emergency and it was rushed through. And now Kelly is the swaggle is the person.
Right.
There's all kinds of allegations that I'm going to have to say alleged because I don't know.
Right.
But there are allegations of the place not being clean. There's allegations of people pretending they're vets and they're not, and they prescribe they're getting medicine prescriptions, and their dogs are getting things they shouldn't be getting. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of allegations of that. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. Let me play now. The person sent me a video of someone outside of one of those Chris Vaccio coffees with Chris thing.
Mm.
She went to that. Inside, she talks to the mayor there, and then she gets them outside. So let me play them for you guys so you can see what transpired. Let me take us off here though first so you can see it better. So you guys can see what happened with that. You know what? I'll play the one outside because the one inside really, it's nothing. Here you go.
I was asking you some tough questions about the RFP and the bid chick and how that all came about.
Yeah. They're not
I'm curious though how you found her or how she found you with
it was
no
where she found me.
RFP. How did she know that our contract was ending? Because her planning was well far.
I think there was a newspaper article that came out about the contract ending, and I think there was a series of social media posts and even an exchange between some SPCA people and some city people. So I think it was just a question of seeing things and then stepping into a void. There was nothing nefarious about it. I mean, I don't know this woman from that woman.
Our dog control officer knows her. In fact, he was on her business proposal last February when she started the process, and I even knew her revenue of over $320,000 a year.
Okay.
So she knew about the contract for Niagara Falls then. So it doesn't constitute an emergency in my eyes. I have a problem with that particular situation because I think it should have went out in an RFP to properly look for a vendor, knowing that, there was more than 18 months notice that the SPCA wasn't renewing their contract. That was no secret. That was all over the papers. I've looked back as far as 2013, 2015, that she had no intentions. She wanted to go back to her mission statement, which was more cruelty, hoarding cases. There was no room for those types of animals when we have such a large problem here in our city with dogs roaming the streets every single day.
Okay,
So
I can't solve it here with you, though.
No, but I would love to meet with you and,
If you want
air
to.
my grievances, try to come up with some solutions for more vendors to be able to
I'm
start
happy to have
this
more
bidding
vendors.
process
Once we get
prior to the contract ending, though.
once we
That
get
contract
once
was
we
not
get
done
the
the right way.
facility, once we get the facility put together.
Which taxpayers
All right. So there's a little confrontation this person had with the mayor outside. Not a bad one.
Right.
Here's the problem. He says he doesn't know that woman, Kelly, from the woman he's standing, some stranger. But it seems like he does, unfortunately. He must, because we got this. There's a whole thing where Kelly is talking to someone who was going to be her partner, her business partner, but things went bad.
Yeah.
And now that they're not business partners, well, they sent this. I got this. And in here, you can see where they're talking about trying to secure a building. They're looking for somewhere. And it says there, don't worry, the mayor's. So obviously he knew who they were. She also, that allegation you hear of her saying, well, our animal control officer knows her, talking about Kelly Swaggle. That would be, see, this whole thing has to do with who is she?
Right.
Why would you rush her in? Why wouldn't you give it a chance for people to bid on that job?
Right.
Why her? What is so special? Who is she connected to?
It was just a really sneaky way of doing
Yeah.
things. It was just
At $20,000 a month.
that's something that lucrative should have been out to the public for a vote or something. I mean, at least
Now,
And
Go ahead, Ray.
something that important when you're dealing with the animals.
Right.
I mean, we shouldn't just be throwing them to whoever will take them. I mean, that's ridiculous.
What kind of real credentials does she have?
Right.
At least make that public.
That's
Yeah.
the other thing that's being alleged. Allegations are that she's not what she says she is. And this is a whole thing going on. And now people go to council meetings
Yeah.
and there's been fights. You can read it in the paper. The people that have sent me this have gone to the council meeting and have taught and have said stuff and have called her out. They get mad at her. They get mad at those people and tell them to shut up, but then they let her come and talk and rip those people apart. Kelly, I guess, has sent these people a cease and desist order that they can't go to the council meeting and talk anymore.
That's
I've
ridiculous.
never heard anything like that. What do you mean? Yes, you can. They can't. They just send anything. They think people are going to be scared.
Right.
And what I had said to her, the thing was, as long as, and I think we know this, as long as you have the truth,
Right.
if you're telling the truth, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Niagara Falls Animal Control Officer's name, yes, that is who it is. Donald Booth. Yes, that's who she was talking about in there. And they're building their own building, by the way, Niagara Falls. Eventually they're going to have their own kennel, I guess.
Oh.
And the thing is, though, who's going to run it? So it looks like Kelly.
Yeah.
So why her?
They're not demanding to see any proof of who she is, what she does, what kind of background she has.
Or did they? And then they're not just.
Well, the city council wasn't there when it went through, but then they had a vote on it and it ended up passing 4-1. I guess the council chairman guy was pretty rude to them, as banging the guy. Didn't want him to talk. They would. Here, perfect example. The woman you heard in that video goes and speaks at the council meeting, and they do the thing where one day they crossed her name off, so they didn't call her. Someone else did, and she got mad, and then she ended up waiting to almost 10 o'clock at night. Then they let her talk when no one was there, and she said it was they were ridiculously bad to her and all this stuff. And so there's a reason. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
If everything's okay, that doesn't happen.
Right.
So what are you
Well, I don't
hiding?
know. I don't know about over there. I mean,
Yeah.
they do what they want to do and let talk who they want to talk. And,
Yeah.
cut you off if they don't want to hear you.
And that's why I never went in there, because I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But I understand why these people are mad, because there's a bunch of people that could do this job probably cheaper and love the animals
Right.
and all that stuff. And instead, the allegation is this person doesn't really care for the animals, allegedly, and is getting, why would you pick her? There's a reason for her. Now that she's trying to say it's the connection with the Niagara Falls police that's what caused this to happen. Because the thing is, she's saying, how would she have known that there was an opportunity to run something when no one else knew that?
Right.
And he tries to say, well, it was in the newspaper or it was in social media, but honestly, it wasn't. There was no want ad. It was just
Right.
saying SPCA is not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So how would anyone know to go and say, I want to be the animal control officer and I got a building that can have 17 kennels and you're going to pay me $20,000 a month?
Right.
So that's a lot for a city like us. I mean, I guess.
It is.
How much did the
They
SPCA
better
want?
give it to the Board of Education to pay their lawsuits.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I don't know. It just goes with, I feel bad for the people because, but I'm not surprised. It's funny though. When I hear this from some people, right, none of you are shocked
Right.
around this table that it went this way. If you never dealt with them before, it is shock. Sometimes it is. And we've seen this so many times where they just give it to whoever they want. And then, there's no, well, they did it. Remember Memorial Parkway with Ken Tompkins, remember, and his niece, and they gave him they just gave it away to her. Well, she did it. She got the thing by a bid that wasn't even the highest bid. It wasn't even the highest bid.
Right.
And then they give it to her after 6 months when she can't fix up the place. She's supposed to give it back to the city. Well, instead she sells it to a friend. How the hell do you get to sell it? The city never got it back.
Right.
It ends up being Karen Mock, who's,
Somebody got money under the table.
yeah,
That is.
Tompkins' niece did. And then Mock gets the building.
That's.
And then it goes into all kinds of arguing. People are like, we want them, some city council want it back. Well, once there's a new mayor, they just let it go. They said, forget it. No, we're not going to argue no more. So that's that story. I'm hoping to have someone on with us soon
Yeah.
that's going to be able to be a guest and talk more about this. Cause it's hard for me sometimes secondhand, not secondhand, but I'm kind of just like throwing everything out there
You're the
because
middle person.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not really, probably doesn't sound as great, but just know this. The SPCA was no longer going to be animal control. So there was a void, as the mayor said. He says she just filled the void. But the question is, how would she know there was even an opportunity to fill a void?
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, there's a void, but how would you know that it's up for,
Right.
for a chance? And allegations are flying. I can't, and none of us, we don't know. But the allegations are that she doesn't really care for animals, but maybe she does. I don't know. I know there's something else. I forgot about this. I couldn't show the pictures though, because there's a lawsuit going on. Again, this is going to be alleged. Please, alleged. They had people in there volunteering, working at the Pit Chicks place.
Yeah.
Well, they had a pit bull in there that was a little aggressive. And tells one of the volunteers, supposedly the pit chick, tells one about go feed the animal. Well, the animal grabbed her by the throat
Oh,
and I saw the pictures, ripped her. It's horrible.
Jesus.
But here's the problem. The dog gets killed. And, they kill the dog. And
That's not
people
right.
I'm talking to say that dog shouldn't have been because it was human error. They should have never let anyone go over
Yeah.
there. Like, it's like, when your dog, you wouldn't let just anyone go feed
Right.
your dog when you know the dog's aggressive.
Right.
So that's also part of this. That's a
Right.
lawsuit ongoing because of the person now. It's alleged, all allegations, and supposedly
That's
happened
like
there.
my dog. She'll grab somebody by the throat and rip them to shreds too. She doesn't know who they are or she doesn't trust
Yeah,
them.
they got an it's so, oh my God, it's terrible looking. I'll show you after the
Oh, yeah.
show. It's terrible. It's really messed up. What is that? Does anyone know what that says?
It's a link.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, PCA lawyer. Oh, thanks. Not sure. If I'm not, are you reading that in any way that I should be or no?
Like a link.
I'm linked to something.
SPCA lower.
SPCA lawyer. World. Okay. Anyhow, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that's
I don't want to record it. I want to copy it.
right. They won't let it.
I have to do it after.
After. Other than that, I mean, that's the story. I mean, we'll have more about it. We're going to hopefully have someone on here that's really involved in it to talk more and we could ask questions. I know that the Gazette has written a lot of stories about it and supposedly there's another one maybe coming, but sometimes you don't know what they're going to do.
Mhm.
You never know
Who gets
how,
that anymore too?
right.
Another thing.
And you never know though what's sometimes what you think's going to be there isn't. So you never know
Yeah.
what's going to be said. So that'll be interesting, depending on the mood of the people doing it and who they're who they're working for or whatever, who they're afraid of politically.
Because that should do a story about the posters going around.
They should.
Yeah.
They absolutely should because not many things in Niagara Falls get 1.1 million views. The only time, never, unless you're the actual water going over the.
I messaged Mark Shear and I sent him the video and
Did you?
everything, so
No answer.
no answer yet.
Yeah, it does. That definitely does. Allegedly, the mayor's like, you know what, Scott? I'm going to take the allegedly off of that. I think I can say that that's not an allegation. It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I hope he sues moving to.
Yeah.
at
Sue
this
me.
point. But
See
yes,
what I say.
yeah. So that's it for that story. We're definitely going to keep involved. We got people sending us private messages. As more things come, the more we'll put it out there to you because it is important. I would think for residents of Niagara Falls, it's $20,000. It's your dogs. We saw what happens to dogs that get loose. They shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
Remember we saw that on
Yeah.
the street.
It's
So
always the pit bulls too that get put down or shot. It's always a pit bull.
and it's always because people
It's terrible. It's
It-
always human error.
stupidity. Yeah, that there was this guy that did it over there just wanted to be a tough guy.
Yeah,
He just had to come out and show dominance.
because he was an ex-cop.
Mhm. And nothing happened, of
Nothing
course.
happened.
Nothing.
Yeah, they went away
An
quick, didn't it?
investigation and their
Yeah.
that investigation went nowhere.
Yeah. we're
They still have no
investigating.
justice.
Nope.
It's terrible.
No, it is terrible because
It's like losing a family member.
And
Yeah.
that dog was it lived with other animals. It lived with children. It had a family. It was a family. It was part of the family. It was-
Yeah.
oh yes, billboards, addresses, I'm not giving up on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So many people on TikTok were saying that if I start a GoFundMe for a billboard, they will
Help it out.
help out. I mean,
Yeah.
thousands of people have said that on TikTok that if I can get a GoFundMe going
just
for a
gotta-
billboard, they'll help out.
We got to get a billboard place that'll do it.
Yeah, we just gotta find a billboard place.
That will not be
Scared.
scared. Yeah, to do it. Which I don't know why they would if all you're doing is putting up that sign.
Even a lawyer I spoke to said they needs a billboard, get a billboard.
Just that sign. We don't have to say anything. You can just put up the
Yeah, just put up.
this thing, right? Where is it? I think I have it. If we just like put this up there
Yeah.
with nothing else, that's perfect.
Yeah.
There he is. There it is. The area.
All public information. It's not like they were doing anything wrong. Can't get sued for it.
I got to get the exit number for off the I-9 we were talking
Yeah.
about right on the boulevard
I
there.
was looking at a few of the billboards when I was driving on the thruway. I gotta find their addresses.
Yeah, definitely. He got away with murder of a dog, but try running a red light. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
city. That's
There you go.
That's true. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that was that. I also said in our promo, like people are messed up. Like what's wrong with
Yeah.
people? And I said that's a real loaded, incredible question because it depends what category you want to talk about. But you had something you saw, right?
Yeah.
I got the picture. Do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, Stacy's son-in-law is still on here. She actually pointed it out to me. It was on the Niagara County mugshot page. This girl got arrested for falsely reporting, I forgot what it said.
Yeah, it's just like a
Reporting of
incident.
incident. Yeah, falsely
Yeah.
reporting an incident. And they arrested her, and she is severely autistic, severely. Like she has the mindset and temperament of a 7-year-old.
Stacy's here.
Hey, Stacy. Yeah, so maybe Stacy can explain it a lot better, but it's basically like this woman's like talking, falsely reporting an incident third. So Alicia Moscato, and you could tell just by looking at her, she's not, something's
well,
wrong
yeah.
with her. She's not well. And there's a bunch of people on the mugshot page, and I understand the mugshot page, everybody goes after people, but this girl is severely autistic. It's like talking to a child, so like dealing with a child, and there's people just making fun of her and saying horrible things. I mean, the cops should have known at that point, like, okay, this is not a normal person. She's
She's got
it's like talking to a 7-year-old. Let it go. Why are you arresting somebody who's severely autistic and can't even function?
Yeah, and it pisses me off too. There was all those rude comments, which, like you said, is always the case on the Niagara mugshot page. But then Stacy went on there and told people,
Yeah.
"Can you please take this down? She's autistic," and people still didn't
people
take
still
it
don't
down.
care. They didn't care. They think it's just and I love the mugshot page for when it's time to really roast people. Like I loved it for when pedophiles and stuff like that really get arrested and they deserve it. But for shit like this, people are so rude. People
Yeah,
are just terrible.
That's just cruel.
But they're also hiding behind a keyboard. So
I also wonder sometimes about the mugshot page. I don't know. It's kind of like, why don't they have any control,
yeah.
like to realize what this is
Yeah.
and say, you know what, I'm not. I mean, it's up to them. It
I'm
isn't.
sure they've seen Stacy's comments on there. I'm sure they've seen the comments on there saying that she's severely autistic. Like, why can't you tell people?
Or put it up there and make no comments.
No.
Like
And
shut the comments off. Let's see what she said. Can you guys see? So
Families.
yeah.
family says 7 to 8-year-old level of function. That's a far cry from arrest materials. See lack of criminal responses. This is not someone they should be arresting and humiliating as a criminal. She should, if anything, be given more support services. She doesn't have the capacity to understand what she did or what the charges are. This is so horrific and an embarrassment of the law enforcement in our community and a waste of taxpayer money to pursue this. I hope the people who are participating in humiliating her, that their employers see their posts and fire them for their public humiliation and discrimination of a person with severe disabilities.
Yeah, I hope so too. Whatever happened to the pedophile page. I think that was ran by the mugshot page too, and it's gone again. They've posted every pedophile besides like D'Angelo,
Yeah.
which was really weird. That's gone. I don't see it anymore. They keep like putting it back up and taking it down.
I read on the mugshot page, just in the comments, about this girl
No, I think we're still, all right, we're back.
Okay.
I hope. Let's see if we're back.
Let me click out of this again.
Yep, there you are.
We're back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Something happened. All right, we're
Yeah,
back.
but so
ahead,
I
Robin.
read in the comments that not only was she autistic, but that her mother just passed away. And that's what got her distraught, which caused this whole
Yeah,
thing.
we don't know exactly what happened.
terrible.
either.
Yeah.
But reporting and like, come on. Think about that. We just talked about a guy who gunned down a dog, took the dog and threw it in the yard of the people who it was.
Yeah, dragged it to their drag.
They don't get arrested.
No.
But this happens.
Yeah.
And how many times do kids, well, I don't know as much anymore, but when we had phones in the house,
Oh, yeah.
they called 911. I mean, and then the cops come, they're like, okay, sorry, my kid did that or anything. It'd be the same thing with her.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Her
Yeah.
mentality would be a child.
Yeah, because even if she goes to the, like, what could she have said? Like, if she even if she went to the police and said someone committed a crime, is it
Right.
really necessary to
Yeah.
arrest her? I mean, knowing the the state that she's in. Let's see what else people have. Dominic, that is just ruthless for calling out an individual like that. The police can't say lack of training, because one thing I know across the country is with mental hospitals being shuttered, a lot go out on the street, and they're doing everything to train officers in mental health identifiers. What the heck? They shouldn't be arresting her since she's disabled. Where are the mugshots of the degenerates, family, and friends? Yes, we're back. Thank you. I know all hell broke loose there for a second. We're back. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that's a sick. That's.
Yeah.
I just think like the mugshot people have I mean, I don't have
They
problems.
definitely could.
Just shut off
said
comments.
something. Yeah.
Or even
Or said something.
if you want to make sure you put up everyone, okay, just certain ones you might want to shut the comments off for.
Right.
Right.
Because it's come on, is it really worth it to do that to a person like like that? I don't think so. City Marshal Zandano filed several false
Yeah.
accusations. Yeah, well, think about all the false ones that
Oh,
we.
yeah. It said I threatened him.
Right.
Everything. Yeah.
And how about the false allegations when these lawsuits are frivolous too? That's garbage.
Yeah.
And they're able to just do them and get you going with everything else, and then
Yeah.
Mhm.
shouldn't be able to do that either. That's depressing. I have a 19-year-old son that is on the spectrum. Yeah. Yeah.
It's scary.
It's I would love to know, and I know it's none of my business, what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Like, what
Right.
was
Yeah, I'd like to know,
the
too.
consequences?
Like, what
Like,
is
what,
it
what
that's
actually
so
was said?
severe?
I
Yeah.
really hate to say this because, I mean, I live here, but it's Niagara Falls. It's the Niagara Falls mentality. Let's make fun of people.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
fun. We got nothing else to do. Let's sit here, pick on somebody who did make a mistake. A lot of times it's a stupid mistake. Okay. You get in trouble. You really have to say stuff like that about them?
Right.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mugshot page really probably could do all this with comments off,
Yeah.
and it'd still be a service for the community because you would see the mugshots.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I kind of don't go over there that much anymore. Or if I do, I don't
I do.
even.
It's only because it pops up on my.
It might
feed.
pop up, yeah. Because those comments do get tiring. Like I can't.
Yeah.
There's just so much that you can handle.
And if
Yeah.
you look at it, it's all the same people.
Same people,
It's
yeah.
the same people
Mhm.
writing shit that, like, come on, get a life.
That's where the girl Nevaeh, the little girl Nevaeh that got hit, and that was where the woman said that hit her. That said, "I'm home, ha ha,"
Yeah.
whatever.
I wonder whatever happened with that. I hope the judge seen what she's done.
Yeah, you wonder, right? I haven't heard a word about that story. I do see Nevaeh still fighting for her life. I see the pictures
Yeah.
of her. God, think about how many months they've been in there. It's over a
And they
year.
have
We're going.
other-
I think
they
it's
have-
going on a year because I think it happened in May or
Yeah.
June of last year.
Yeah.
I'm
Think
pretty sure.
about it though. They have other kids, so at the end of the day, they have to leave.
Yeah, they
Like,
can't
how-
stay there. Yeah,
How do you leave?
she was talking about that. The mother. It was sad. She put a whole post out about that. Put yourself in that shoes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's-
My goodness, that's something we don't do, and I could probably be, I guess, accused of it too. Is I try to do it, but putting yourself in other person's spot.
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know, and I think that would help a ton. I don't know if some people have the capacity in their brain to do it because they're just so mean and miserable and rotten.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. There are people that must
It's
not.
because they're sitting behind their phones. They know if they said stuff like that to people in person, they'd get punched right in the face.
Yeah.
That's the
This kind of technology has caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
really,
ton.
Mhm.
it really is. They need to get hold of it.
It's
I mean,
wow.
kids are playing violent
It's
games. I
out
mean,
the window. now.
terrible.
It's so far gone.
Yeah.
Like we should have. I remember the first time I saw the internet. I think I said this last show was 1992 in someone's house. Like I'd never seen it before. It was dial up and all that, but it was the internet. And I said the stupidest thing. Like I said, "Oh, this is stupid. No one will ever get." It was the worst thing to say in the world.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh God, this is dumb. Who's gonna want to waste their time doing this?" And here I am. But it's just like,
We don't really have a choice at this point.
no, you don't. You
No.
can't be someone. I knew somebody a couple years ago, probably about 10 years ago, that said to me that they were never going to do banking online. They're never going to do any of that.
They're doing
They have to. You have no choice. Like Nick sending me threats, on his
Text.
Yeah.
Hid behind the bailiff in the
courtroom.
Yeah, he was always hiding behind the bail for the cops. 'Cause he knew.
People are mean on the NT Facebook group. Yeah, I mean, people. That's the other thing too. You're right. If you even just nice, any conversation goes different.
Yeah.
Like when you see someone face to face, it's just different.
It's different.
It's a completely, and there's some people that don't know how to do it because all they've ever, but there's a certain age group that can't do it because this is all they've ever done.
Right.
Is talk like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's having young children grow up with a computer in their face and then they go to school and what do they got more and more now? A computer in their face, and there's no consequence for saying something the wrong way, or it just isn't there anymore. And so it's getting worse and worse, and these kids are desensitized.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Desensitized.
You can see all the violence, all the pornography, anything you want to
Tip of
see.
your finger, that's it.
And I think it's got to be the pornography part of it. I still think has a lot to do with the issues that we have as far as like sexual assaults and raping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad. I'd love to. You know what? I'd have to see the numbers on this, but I'd love to see what it was post before pre-internet. Like
Yeah,
how were the
before,
numbers?
yeah.
But and I mean when the internet really got going. I'm talking like in the 2000s when it was getting to where everyone had it. And remember that we got to that point where it was like we had no choice.
Yeah.
We tried as hard as we could to keep the kids away from it. We tried as hard as we could not to get them phones. And it got to the point where we can't do it. Like it was done. We had no choice. As much as I hated them, but you had to. But now, like you have to now. How could you have a kid without them? You can't. There'd be no way. And you don't want them. So I
I
know.
don't know what the answer is, but if it's technology to do it, then there's a technology that could stop it. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's got to be like in your schools I'm against having phones in schools.
Sure.
I
I
don't-
don't.
I had I told you this, meetings with the head of NU, and me and about 3 other people firmed it down, and you should have seen principal. Oh, no, they need them in school. They have to have their phones, and they turned it down. They ended up turning it down. But, boy, what a fight.
Yeah.
What a fight.
I'm sure.
And it
now
should be a
forget it.
fight. How is that? Like, how are we letting our kids have phones in school?
Sit down,
It's far gone.
shut up,
You know the
and
cheating that
watch
goes
it and
on?
learn the lesson.
Imagine the cheating that goes on.
Yeah.
We were just talking about. I remember doing book reports like in 8th grade or wherever, and not really do them. I'd go to the library and read books, and I wouldn't
Plagiarize.
straight out plagiarize. I just switch the words around. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, yeah. But now it's got to be.
At least you did some work.
Yeah, right.
Right, but at least you went to the library and got the encyclopedia and read it.
Yeah,
Put it
you
in
did
your
kind of.
words.
Yes, even with the plagiarism, at least I
Joe Biden made a whole career
Right.
out of doing it.
Yeah.
just reswitch the words. These kids don't even have to do that. It's right there. You guys, all of us, because obviously didn't have. There was parts of your life you didn't have that, right? You definitely did. You grew up without it.
Being a
Yeah.
teacher, and then you watch it over the years come more and more and more, and then now you walk by, and now and then I'll go back to 70, and they're sitting around with it on their desk. There's the computer screen
That's it.
for this program, and then there's that program, then there's another program, and
Pretty soon there won't be teachers.
I was just gonna say.
I'm just saying, nothing beats a good teacher up there. I mean, that's what
Pretty
you
soon
need.
they won't need them. They'll
That'll
have
be
it
for their
written down.
attention, paying attention, whether you like it or not, to take notes, right? Well, that's a thing in the past, taking
Oh,
notes.
wow.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Look at this. James says artificial intelligence can write your whole paper for you now. So yeah, I don't even have to go and pay the smart kid to do it for me. You got AI, does it? Yeah, yeah,
That's gonna
right.
be a- that's gonna be a
I was
huge
the one selling the papers.
And he said the same thing. Yeah, I just don't know. And obviously it's like that. The toothpaste is out of the tube. We'll never put it back. But God,
That's my point.
yeah.
Yeah, right. It's out of the tube, but there's a
Florida-
way, then use the same thing to counter it.
Did you see what Florida is saying to do? And I don't know if this is true or not. The governor wants to make it where 14 and under can't have social media,
That'd be
I
great.
like it.
and
Yeah.
that
Good.
he's going to have a. I don't know
Stop a
how.
lot of fights and stuff with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot
To
of
say it
bullying,
that way.
yeah, bullying.
I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they'd be able to get away. I don't know how they could enforce it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tulsi.
How could you?
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could.
Yeah, I
How
don't know
could
if they
you-
can stop
I
it.
mean, but it would. Yeah, you know what? The other day, I was talking to my son, and this happened a little bit ago. There was a social media issue that popped up between people, and they got mad and drove by and shot up the house. They shot up the house
Jesus.
because of social media arguing. But you could see why, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
could definitely see how that go. Well, we've gotten mad at offensive
Yeah.
social media. So many people don't.
Numbers, phone
phone number.
numbers, so if they lose their phones, they
Yeah.
can't even call someone from a borrowed break.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. Back in the day, I knew everybody's phone
Me
number by
too.
heart. Now, because I don't have to, I don't know
I don't
anybody's
even
phone
know.
number.
I don't even know my.
I know the phone number in the house I grew up in,
Still,
but I
yeah.
couldn't tell you.
I
the
couldn't
phone
tell you
number.
Andy's phone number.
Yeah.
No way.
Right. 283-5716. My parents.
Mine was 285-8267.
Guys, it's 297-2681.
My mother's is 2840236.
297-4167.
There you go. Yeah, you'd have to know it.
AI.
And that
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kept your mind moving. Now all you gotta do is go.
Isn't that what education's supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Didn't
activate your brain.
I think COVID messed everything up too with the Zoom. Like everyone could do school from home.
Yeah.
With all the Zoom
Yeah.
stuff and all that. And now they do it right. Like some school they just do it. Like, hey, everyone,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. And I know
They
colleges.
gotta
do
have
it.
room for the illegals, so.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
But colleges
They're
do
gonna
it too.
zoom them in pretty quick. They're not already here.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a good point. That's a great discussion because we all here have lived without it, and now we can't live without it. Like, you know what I mean? We
Right.
all lived without it. Now none of us here can go without it.
No, that's not true. I could live without it.
You
Oh,
think?
me too.
I could
Like,
live without
could you?
it because I went so long
Mm.
without it. I mean,
You can't go a day without texting me.
yes, I could. Yes, I could.
You could.
I don't remember life before it anymore. I try to. How many times have I said that? I wish I could go back to 1985 as an adult.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Rotary phone.
Rotary.
Yes.
Rotary. net.
And I'd love to.
I would love to
go
see
back.
what that was
Mhm.
like
And you know what?
again.
Get on the phone, call my friend. Hey, do you want to meet up? Okay, we'll meet you in
Right.
15 minutes on this or that corner. And out the door you go and spend time with a person instead of texting them.
Right.
How are you today? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
No.
Definitely
Yeah.
less fights.
I could go back to that.
Yeah, I could.
Everything,
I'd
you know?
want to.
It really does.
Because and think about how then you talk about the people being soft and all that stuff. No wonder why. Like
Yeah.
I was a little kid. I was 7 years old at Midtown playing Little League T-ball, and I couldn't hit. I was having a hard time hitting up the tee. This guy came over who was the coach. He had one arm, and he could hit the ball really good with one arm. He was ridiculous, this old man. And he comes over and he says, I was 6 or no, I might have been 6. And I'll never forget this. He said, "Don't quit your day job," because I couldn't hit the ball off the tee. And I know. Yeah, I was saying, I
I just
just
say fuck off.
no, because I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about. But then, my brother, he heard it and he was just like laughing, and and I didn't even care. But as I got older, I realized what he was telling me.
He laughing when he did it.
No, he was smoking a cigar, and he came over to me and he's like, "Don't quit your day job."
Massive.
No, I'll tell you who it is. One last story for me that was great. I told you about the bowling story.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 8 years old. I was the worst bowler in the league, so I had the worst average. So we go to this banquet, and it was on Pine Avenue. It might have been the Crown and Anchor. I don't know what it was downstairs. So we go down there. No parents. We just all go. There's no parents there. None. I actually walked there from Forest Avenue. I was 8. Get in there, and they're giving out awards. They're giving out trophies. And I know I'm not getting one. I don't care. They call me up there to give me a patch that says I'm the cellar dweller, and it's a patch with my ball going in the gutter.
Oh,
It was the bowling. Yeah, I still got it. But what was I gonna do with
They
it?
clap for you?
Oh, they laughed. They were laughing and joking, and I get the thing, and I go home and show it to my dad, and he was, "What do you want me to do about it?" Is what he said. I said nothing. He goes, "Well, do better, get better at it, then you won't get it." I like you.
What I got in high school when they gave out the things for the end of the year. What was it? I got in high school.
I don't like what that was.
Something about skipping the
I
most.
didn't
Like
like
it.
Yeah.
But learning how to lose. is a good
Senioritis.
thing.
Yeah, worst case of senioritis.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior.
Learning how to lose is good.
Or accepting the loss. Not learning, you don't want to keep losing, but I mean, accepting loss because most, like I tell kids, Babe Ruth struck out a lot more times than he hit home runs, right?
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, he lost more than he won.
I never forgot those two things though. I never forgot the guy telling me don't quit my day job, and I don't forget the patch. I could still see the patch. I know where it is at my parents if I got in there. And it didn't, I don't think I laughed at it even then, kind of though. I don't know why it didn't affect me. I must have been,
Because kids,
I must have just been like no
Yeah.
emotion. Like it did not affect me. I just told, like I was telling the people that I was sitting with to shut up, because they were, I said, "What the hell,"
You got a maximum.
yeah, but it didn't bother. I don't know. Like it was
Uh,
a strange time. It was different.
Yeah.
Back then it was a little more, you say you get away with a lot more.
I mean, the guy told me,
Handling kids at school.
see my parents got mad. They wouldn't have taken that. Like if anyone would have hit me, I know that'd have been
I'm
different.
glad that stopped because
Yeah.
anybody
The
puts their hand.
threat was nice though.
The threat,
Threat was nice. Now, I went
Hitting.
off to school. I never seen anybody get hit.
right?
Never. But that paddle was in the principal's office.
I remember that,
You
Mount
go to the
Carmel.
Principal,
Yeah.
the threat was there. That's all you needed,
Yeah,
you
I don't know. Do you remember? I used to see the paddle when I was at Mount Carmel. They had it hanging.
79th Street School as a kid, everything, they had it hanging.
I never seen it happen. If I would have seen it happen, that would have been. I bet you that would have been. Oh my God, that'd have been like a public forum, like a public hanging. You know what I mean? Like or like a public execution. Oh my God,
People should be careful of what they say, especially to young kids like that. Trying too hard, it's step and say when you're older, you can turn around, something like that.
Now I will say
Yeah.
it never stopped me. I kept doing I played baseball all the way through. I didn't really care, but I did know though. After that, by the time I got to 6th grade, dreams were done. I knew I wasn't playing Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? Like I knew I better start trying to be a reporter for it or something
Yeah.
because it's my day job.
When I played high school football, there was an assistant throughout freshman football. He was there and real negative. He was a coach up.
Yeah.
He was real negative, and he kept telling me you're not good enough for that position. You're not good. He would say it loud out in the practice because you're not good enough. And he would just, I don't know, he'd shame the hell out of you. He
Yeah.
wasn't the head coach.
Right.
He wasn't the second. He was just so the first night that we're playing football under the lights, and I think it was Lancaster. So lucky enough, I intercept the ball, and I'm running up the sideline right. And when I got out of bounds, he comes running out. Yeah, like this, and I stuffed the ball in my ear. And like this, and I walked away. I owe you a milkshake. I said, yeah. He never did give me a milkshake either.
But I don't know how we got on all this, but it's not bad. I'm glad we took a turn on the
Took a
internet
turn,
because
yeah.
the internet stuff is a problem that I'd love to talk to more people about.
Yeah.
Because you're right though. What you said about fights, I bet you so many
Oh,
things that
yes.
must have happened when I was in school or you were in school just continues like at home.
Yeah, now kids just fight, like meet up to fight. They text each other, all meet up to fist fight for fun.
When we went to school, though, it was chatter, somebody talking or rumors or whatever would start a fight. But now it spreads all over the place in half a second. The whole school knows.
Right.
Yeah, and if they put it on the right thing, the whole world could know. You know what I mean? Eventually.
Then there's the fights online and everybody sees it.
I know.
Yeah.
And then if you and that's a source
I
of
wish they
shame.
had that back.
Yeah.
then. That would have been great.
The kids that get knocked out though or get hit, they gotta be shamed.
Yeah.
Because that's no one wants to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I guess we'll have to discuss that another time. We'll gotta go. It's already.
They'll do everything
Put some
tonight.
Posters back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll put some more posters up. It's beautiful out. Last week when we were here, it was snowing like
Yeah.
crazy. Now it's nice.
Well, as
Maybe
the
you
weather
should go on like an Easter egg hunt. This is like the Easter egg hunt for pedophiles or rapist families.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so look around because Noel's not the only one putting them up. You're not doing a good job, Dave. There's plenty of them that you've been.
and there's going to be more, Dave.
They are
More.
lit.
Now there's gonna be more.
For every one you take down, there's gonna be 10 more going up.
Yep.
And they're not just here in Niagara
No,
Falls,
they're-
so
I
that's.
told you, I went to Wilson fishing. I think there was one in Wilson.
Actually, while you guys are in Florida, you should post them up.
Yeah, give me.
They
Yeah.
They are absolutely everywhere. I went down one street, I'm not going to say where it looked like Christmas. Like it might as well have been like when they had the flags hanging, like, for 4th of July. I see one. I'm like, oh, look, they got it all over the street.
I just gave some
Every
some more
street.
posters today.
Yeah.
I gave somebody posters yesterday, so people are coming and picking them up. And
Yeah, I'm not saying the street, but there's a street where there's like one every tree. It feels like it's like it's pretty cool.
Scott, if you want to wait for Dave, just come down to Buffalo Avenue
Yeah, sit with you
and
for a little while.
sit with me. We'll sit at the park and we'll wait for him, and we'll
Say hi.
we'll say hi.
How's it
Mhm.
going, buddy? Next week we're gonna have Katie Rifford. She's coming on. She's got some news to tell us.
We'll be
So we'll
chiming
talk
in
to
from
her.
Florida.
Oh, okay, good. That'll be nice. We'll get to see you guys. And then what else? Not that much else. We're still growing at
Yeah.
1.1 million.
Yeah, 1.1.
It's still going. People are still watching.
Oh yeah, every second my thing goes off.
That's unbelievable.
Every second.
That's truly viral
Yeah,
stuff.
the number is it just 1.0?
It's not the actual number. It's more than that. It just, let's see, like, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah, good
Maybe a
Good
TikTok.
way to end the show.
Yeah, on the number. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, that's well done.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The people know, and that's why I wish. This is why. I'm not going to get into it. I was going to start talking about something else. I'm not doing it. All right, what's going on? We're going to go home now, everyone. Right? It's over. So I don't need to do that.
That was fun.
Yeah. Well, anything else for the people that you can think of? No.
And the longer
There's signs if anyone wants.
Yeah, if
them.
anybody
And the longer
wants
the days get, there's more daylight to put them up.
Right.
if anybody's interested in handing out the signs, the warning posters, just message me and I will get them to you.
Yeah, I'll help too. If
Yep.
there's somewhere I can drop them off. Other than that, there's not much else. Well, I might as well remind everyone, tomorrow night I do Puckett at 10 o'clock. If you like NHL hockey, me and Bill from Wisconsin do a all NHL show. Thursday is a special, what the hell is this show called? Falls Count Anywhere. We'll be doing that Thursday night live at 6 o'clock. Friday with Scott Taggart is the Spitball and Sports show. Go to Spitball and Sports if you like sports. We have like 4, 5, 6 different shows now from Full Press Hockey. Put a lot of their stuff on there,
Mhm.
which is cool. We have a soccer show from these guys in Pittsburgh, and then we have a Pittsburgh sports show called the Pittsburgh Desk. It's almost fun. Like Spitball and Sports become its own little sports network, so it's kind
Yeah.
of cool. There's 6 different shows you can watch.
Give us
there.
a follow on.
Yes, follow us everywhere, please. Whether it's this thing, Spitball and Sports, if you go there. Citizens United, we're at 3,889.
And we don't buy our followers.
No.
No.
You know what's funny? Let me tell you this real quick. I'll go look at our followers, and in 30 days, it'll say 60 new followers, 28 unfollowers. Oh, we get like
Yeah, I want to know who out there is unfollowing.
it's funny.
If you unfollowed us,
Yeah, refollow.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
well,
Refollow.
and then message me and tell me why you unfollowed us to begin with.
So once again, well, congratulations. It's a little bit of
Yes.
justice,
It
kind
is
of, sort
great.
of.
It's a big slap in the face.
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
family.
It makes them get on the defensive for
Yeah.
once. So good
And
job.
I just love
And
that
thank
there's nothing
you.
they can do about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, Noel, for letting everyone know so that hopefully we prevent more victims.
Thank you guys for helping.
And it's not and this is what's great. You said it earlier. This will get people with other scumbags.
You know,
Yep.
actually,
To open
some
them up,
people have
yeah.
said on the video of this,
They-
some people have actually said, I'm going to start doing this
See,
now
yeah,
with my abuser.
inspiring.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that I can do this. I'm going to do this now with my abuser. So
Right.
Go for it.
Yep.
Man.
Do it. Post it, and we'd
Yeah.
love to share it
Yeah.
ourselves. Man, anyways, great job, Noel. Everybody, we'll see you guys next week. We'll have Katie with us.
Bye, everyone.